Hi, this is Peter. This video is to introduce AVX for Android. It's basically a spin-off of my other application, Eva. If you're not familiar with that, then all this will be new to you, but if you've seen Eva before, then I'm not going to be really showing you anything new other than the look and feel of AVX. We have two versions of AVX. There's a free version that runs for 28 days and has the ad banners on it, and it basically has exactly the same functionality as the paid version. I'm using the SVOX voice on here. The particular one I use is Grace, so that when you hear that voice, it's not the default Android one. You can download the SVOX classic voice browser from Google Play, try out the voices, and they have 14-day trials on some of their voices, so you can try them out and then purchase them if you like them. And like I said, I'm using Grace. You'll see on the widget up here, the widget has two different functions there. If you tap on the right hand side of it, it starts AVX. If you tap on the left hand side of it, it turns wake mode on, and then AVX is listening for voice commands. So I'll just do that now to show you. And you'll see that it says I'm listening for Hey Android. So while that's on and you see the icon in the notification bar there, you can say that wake phrase, and that will bring AVX to the front where you can automatically interact with it, not having to go and find it and open it. Likewise, you could also shake your phone and to bring it to the front. I'll just turn that off again, and if I click on the widget here.
Yes, Peter.
What time is it?
It is 10:31 a.m.
Okay, so how things work, down the bottom here you have your speak bar where you can tap on that to interact, and up the top you have your conversation that's happening. Let me show you how to find the help here. If you press the menu button on your phone,
The following help categories are available.
this lists all of your help items. Up the top here there's a link there to YouTube, so you can go and watch all the other videos. You'll find there's a whole bunch of videos in there that I've created before that are all demonstrating different functions of Eva. Even though they look different, it's the same functionality that's in this application. We also have a link there to Facebook. If you come on Facebook there, you can contribute and ask questions and all that sort of stuff on there. So to find something in the help, if you just scroll through, I tapped on the diary there, say you wanted to figure out how to create a journal entry, you can just tap on an item and expands it. It gives you the details of that item. It gives you examples on how to do, how to phrase those different commands, and you tap on it again and it will close up. So say for example you wanted to see how do I schedule a calendar event or something like that. You can tap on that and say I want to create a reminder. Just tap on that and it gives you the instructions to do that. So basically all of your help, everything that you need to know about AVX is in here, and it's a lot of information. Okay, so the next thing, your settings. Tap on your menu button again.
Your settings are displayed. Tap on any setting to toggle through the available options.
You'll see through here you can adjust most of your settings. There's a few other different places where the settings are separate, like if you're adjusting your alarm settings, that's in a different place. And you'll see in the documentation it tells you how to access that. But most of these settings here you can just tap on something. So if you didn't want to have shake activation turned on, you can just tap on that and it will turn it off. So now when you shake your phone, it's not going to bring AVX to the front. You could toggle through your voices there, so you pick your correct accent, and then the voice recognition will work better. And there's a load of different things in here that you can adjust to get things working the way you want. And if we come down here to email, if you have an email account and you would like AVX to read out your emails when they're coming from people who are in your contacts, you can go and configure email accounts in here, so you can not only send using that email, but a new message will come in and AVX will say, would you like me to read the message? And you can say yes, and the message will be read for you, and you have the choice to reply to it as well. And same for text messages. By default your text messages are read, and I think that's the default setting, is notify and prompt. It might be whisper and prompt, I'm not sure. But you can change that to ignore if you don't want your text messages to be read. And then, so there's a bunch of other options with text messages. Evernote, if you set up your Evernote account, all of the memos and list items and any of your journal or diary entries that are created are all stored in Evernote, and likewise any notebooks that you have created in Evernote are just represented in AVX as a list. So you can say, what list do I have, or display my lists, and it'll show all your Evernote notebooks, and then you can just tap on the one you want and it's going to show you the items from there. There's also a car mode here, so when you're running in car mode, and I'll show you in a second how that looks, you can do different functions and have big buttons and that for shortcuts and things like that. It's much more convenient while you're in the car. And then the wake mode that I talked about before is for complete hands-free use, but just keep in mind that when you're using wake mode, that is constantly listening, so it's basically always listening on the microphone there and listening for that wake phrase. So that's going to be using battery, so you want to use it when you're not worried about your battery, or you have your phone hooked up to a charger or something like that. It's handy. There'll be plenty of times when you want to use it. And with that, you have a wake up phrase, and extra wake functions is shortcuts that's explained in the help. Let go phrase is if you wanted to quickly have AVX let go of the microphone, so you could dictate something else in a different application. And there's a couple of other options there. Okay, so let me show you what car mode looks like. So you press your menu button, pop up the menu, tap car mode, and you'll see we have 6 different buttons on the screen. The car mode one just turns it off. Wake phrase turns the wake mode on. And then you've got these custom ones down the bottom, and I've set them to different things here. You can basically assign any command that AVX understands to them. Then you have your music one here, where it just runs music off your SD card. Your calling function there, where you can put favorites and make phone calls there. And then custom ones, so you can do assign different commands there. So you have a whole bunch of different functions there that you can do. And we'll just close that out again. And let's see. Okay, let's do a couple of functions here. Let's say I want to make a note.
Yes, Peter.
Note that today is Sunday.
Please choose the best match for your memo. Your memo has been made.
Okay, so that's been stored in Evernote now. So if I wanted to say display my memos.
Yes, Peter.
Display my memos. So it's accessing Evernote.
You have the following memos.
Okay, so there's my note from just now that I created. And also too, going back to talking about email accounts, if you have Microsoft Exchange, and I've got a test account that I'm using, and you have that configured, you can go and choose your calendars, and I'll show you this.
Yes, Peter.
Display my available calendars.
The calendars are displayed. Tap on each one to cycle to ignoring it. Event types are displayed. Tap on each to choose the default calendar where each is stored.
Okay, so in the top list here you'll see the different calendars I have, and 2 of them come from Exchange. One is the default one, and the other one is a test one that I created. So on here you can choose, by tapping on one, you can choose to ignore it. So if I didn't want to see the events in that test calendar, I can just tap on it, and that will ignore it. And if I do want to see the events, you just leave it there. So now, because I've got Exchange selected, down here in the events type, I've got Exchange calendar selected. That means anytime I schedule an event, that'll go into my Exchange calendar as opposed to the calendar on the phone or the Google Calendar. So you can change where your reminders are stored or where events are stored, and any actions, because you can have AVX do different actions for you based upon different times. You might want to say at 6 p.m. enable Wi-Fi, so that will be stored in the phone calendar in this case. And likewise, the alarms, you might say, wake me up at 10 p.m. and that will go into the alarms, the phone calendar here, because I've got that set. So if I want to schedule an event now.
Yes, Peter.
Schedule lunch at 1 p.m.
Say finish event or complete at any point to complete this event. Please give me the name of the next attendee or done.
Complete. So she's storing that in the Exchange calendar right now. That would have walked me through...
Lunch on April 8th at 1 p.m. has been set.
That would have walked me through adding different attendees to that event, and those people would have automatically received an email to say that they've been added to this event, and it would have asked me for the location and maybe an end time or duration, and if I wanted to make it recurring, all the details for creating an event. You can do it like that, but you can also just create a quick reminder. So let's say,
yes, Peter.
At 3 p.m. remind me to call John.
Please choose the best match for your reminder. Your reminder call John on April 8th at 3 p.m. has been set.
Okay, so that particular reminder is stored in the local calendar, I believe, because I didn't have it chosen, a particular one chosen as the default. But when you're saying, you know, I can say what's next to see what's on my agenda for today.
Yes, Peter.
What's next? This will look across Exchange calendar and the local calendar.
In the next week, your agenda contains the following 2 items. 1 at 1 p.m. lunch. 2 at 3 p.m. call John.
Okay, so you can see there, it's pulled the different items out of my calendar, and it will pull from Exchange and or the local calendar as well. So it's sort of combining the two there. Okay, so the next thing you might want to do is maybe you want to text somebody, and I'll show you how it reads the text messages back to you.
Yes, Peter.
Text Peter, hey, what's up? And I have confirmation on this.
Hey, what's up? Please confirm that you want to send this message to Peter Muller by saying confirm.
Confirm.
Your message has been sent to Peter Muller.
Okay, so if we go back out now, I'm going to sit here for a second, and you'll see that message will come in and will be read in the background because I have notify and prompt as the text message setting. So we'll just wait for that.
New text received from Peter Muller. Would you like to hear the message?
Yes.
Hey, what's up? Would you like to reply to this message?
Yes.
New message to Peter Muller. Go ahead.
Cancel.
I have canceled this text message.
Okay, I didn't want to reply to that, so that's why I did that. That's the same functionality for reading out your text messages is used for the email as well. So it's really neat that you can be in another application and not get interrupted, and the message will just be announced to you, and you can choose whether you want to hear it or not. There's a bunch of different options for that, and you can choose them independent for text messaging and independent for each of your email accounts. And again, on the email, it will only read ones for known contacts in your address book. If you choose that option, you'll see that when you go through and set up your email account there, it asks you, you know, what options that you want for reading them. And I didn't really mention yet, but we've got all the location-based actions and reminders in there, so you can set up a location. So maybe you want to set up your work and set up your home, and then you can say, when I leave home, remind me to do this, or when I leave home, disable Wi-Fi. That's all documented. And likewise, same type of things, you can do actions with time-based reminders as well. So like I think I mentioned before, you could say at 6 p.m. enable Wi-Fi. So in pretty much any command that you can do You can either do it with a location-based action or a time-based action there. So I've got loads of other videos there on YouTube if you want to watch those, and like I said, a lot of those are all done based upon my other software Eva, but they're very relevant, the same type of information, and you'll learn a lot if you watch some of those. If you have any problems with the software, you could say report a problem or make a suggestion or a couple of different variations of that, and it'll automatically prompt you for the details, so you can put together email and it will send it to me, and I'm more than happy to answer your emails, and I usually turn them around in about half an hour. Basically, as soon as I get one, I usually answer them so they don't pile up. And like I said before, you can come on Facebook there and join in the discussion and make suggestions and get comments from everybody else, and you'll find out from me what's coming next. And there's still a lot more to come. My to-do list is about 3 pages long, and I'm just working through it as quickly as I can. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you learned something about AVX, and I hope you really like it. It's available on Google Play. Thanks very much.